Are you somebody that feels like you're always on a diet? You're really careful about what you eat. You really avoid bad foods. You eat really healthy food, and yet you're still on a diet because you haven't actually gained the results that you're looking for. If that sounds like you, then hopefully this video will shed some light on what's going on. So the question to ask yourself is, are you actually on a diet, or are you stuck in a diet mindset? If you're on a diet, this is what it looks like. You are eating at a calorie deficit to your TDEE, your total daily energy expenditure. So you may have worked this out. You may have worked out what your total daily energy expenditure, i.e. the number of calories that you need each day, you may have worked that out, and then you may have worked out what a good healthy deficit looks like, and you'll be tracking that, and you'll be eating within those guidelines. Or you might not have gone to that level of detail. You might not be tracking, and in fact it's not necessary to track, and in fact for some people I would recommend it's probably not a good idea to track, but you are still focused on eating wholesome whole foods. You're focused on eating minimally processed, nutrient dense foods that cover the entire food group spectrum. So you have your complex carbs, you eat your lean proteins, you eat your healthy fats. You eat fruit, you eat vegetables, you eat anything that you like, you have snacks, but you are eating, taking into account moderation, portion size, or calories. And most importantly, you are seeing results. So you have specific goals, whether that be weight loss or fat loss or measurements. You have specific goals and you're tracking your progress and you are seeing results. So that's what being on a diet looks like. If you're stuck in the diet mindset, you may recognize one or more of these things. You probably have in your head a list of bad foods. So you have your good foods and you have your bad foods, and your bad foods are probably very similar to your favorite foods. So you spend a lot of time actively avoiding or restricting those bad foods. Or when you do eat those bad foods, it's because you deserve them, it's a treat, or it's because you've given in and you've just succumbed and you've overindulged, and then you actually probably feel guilty. So, do you have bad foods? Do you have some bad foods in your head that you actively avoid? Or maybe you've gone the whole hog and actually just removed an entire food group from your diet, or really severely restricted a food group from your diet. So you might be somebody that says, no, I don't eat carbs, or I don't eat fat, or I'm really low fat or really low carbs. Or maybe you're somebody that thinks about food in terms of reward or punishment. So, you know what, I've had a really bad day, I'm feeling really miserable, and I did go for a really long walk at lunchtime, so I deserve this. Or, oh, you know what, I overdid it at the weekend, so you know, I'm not able to eat that. You know, I'm going to have to be good and just restrict myself to things that I don't really enjoy. You might be somebody that's really obsessed with your size, and so maybe you're weighing yourself daily, comparing yourself to other people, weighing yourself, but being really frustrated because you're not actually changing, things aren't changing for you. This is some of the things that happen if you're in a diet mindset. So do you recognize either of those things? Both scenarios are not great to be in long term. Diet is obviously better because you're seeing progress, so you're getting results. But even being on a diet, I should say, is draining. So what you want to be trying to do It's taking those behaviours, those new eating behaviours that you have learnt whilst being on a diet, taking them and trying to assimilate them into your normal lifestyle so that they're no longer special diet rules, but they're just lifestyle choices. So you start eating that way more instinctively, then that lessens the likelihood of when you reach your goal and you come off your diet, that you stop following those rules and then put the weight back on. So try and make those rules become more lifestyle choices, habits. If you are in a diet mindset, I would recommend that you work on removing yourself from that diet mindset, really deliberately removing yourself. So if you are somebody that has rules about bad foods, good foods and bad foods, start thinking more about including those bad foods back into your diet, but thinking about moderation rather than completely removing them, but thinking about moderation. If you're somebody that skips meals, for example, if you skip meals, you may find that because you're skipping meals, you end up snacking on energy-rich, nutrient-poor food or eating huge amounts of food at the end of the day. Again, better to eat fewer meals throughout the day rather than trying to eat to restrict yourself from eating one meal and then or lots and lots of snacks. If you're somebody that relies on takeaway foods or highly processed foods, again, think about how you can start to incorporate more home cooking into your diet. Focus on eating healthily. Don't worry too much about healthy foods or about portions or about calories. Just focus on eating in a more healthy way. When you are able to focus on that, you should start to repair your relationship with food and see food as for what it is, rather than something that is a reward or punishment, something that should be denied if you don't deserve it. You should start seeing it as food that's to be enjoyed, but that provides you with energy. Once you're in that space, then you can start thinking, if need be, about moving into an actual diet. So going into a diet and thinking then about portions, calories, etc., etc. But before you do that, you want to repair your relationship with food. So hopefully that all makes sense. I apologise for the length of the video, but hopefully it was useful. Do give me a shout, drop me a line if you've got any questions. Otherwise, good luck. Take care. Bye-bye.